Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? My voice is audible. Fine. So previously, right, we worked on the, manufacturing project part. In the model, 1 second, please. Manufacturing project. So how we are going to design, what type of relationships that we have. Okay. And also we discussed about very important DAX object, a quick info. Okay, it's not a deep down into the DAX object. Just understand about calculated column, basic understanding about calculated column. So here we are going to take the reference of existing fields and try to derive a new column. Okay. So in we are going to deep down still on that part. Okay, calculated column or new column. And also we discussed new measure or calculated measure. If there is any number related fields in a table, if you're trying to calculate aggregation on the top of it, okay, aggregated value, then we can make use of sum or else average. Okay, these are all aggregation functions. So that one we discussed with one example, revenue is a field from sales table, right? And if there is any metric information, we have to make sure that we are going to use an explicit measure. So please try to remember the difference between implicit measure and explicit measure, okay, which is very, very important in the certification as well as interviews part. Okay. Also, we discussed about a calculated table, which is one more DAX object. You are not going to import, okay, any new source system or else a new source system warehouse tables. You are going to take the reference of existing tables only. So already I have extracted 4 different tables. From there I'm trying to prepare a new table. Okay, new table you are trying to build by taking the reference of existing or else imported tables. So which is like an intermediate, okay, to perform some intermediate calculation for that kind of an activity. So this type of an activities we will perform by using an object called calculated table. Okay, new table or calculated table. So along with these 4 objects, quick measure is also available. So we will discuss that part also in the part, going forward, which is very simple. But most of the time, as per the DAX objects part, data analysis expressions part, these 3 objects we will use frequently. Okay, frequently usage DAX objects. So like essential transformations in query editor. So essential things that we have to remember while working on the data modeling. So can someone please help me? What are the essential transformations that we have to keep in mind? Essential transformations, data transformations that we already worked. There are something that we have to keep, remember. What are those? What are the essential transformations? When you are working on the data transformations part, we discussed about Three important transformations. Basic check. Correct? Everyone remember, or else if you're not remember, no problem, I will tell you. But it is very important, right? Data type check, filter the data, select the required number of columns. Okay, these are very, very important. Please keep in mind whenever you are trying to import some data sets, imported if you are importing some tables, we have to keep monitor these important transformations. Like that, while working on the data modeling activities, try to cross verify the relationship. Okay, importance of the relationship, how it is getting filtered between two tables. Like suppose if there is no relationship, we have to manage the relationship. So we have to navigate to the manage relationship. Try to check whether you are trying to create a new relationship, or else maybe by default auto detecting wise, if there is some relationship exist, we know how to delete the relationship. Okay, and maybe if you want to change the relationship from one field to the another field, we have an option to edit the relationship. Okay, in manage relationship itself, we have create, delete the relationship and edit the relationship. Hide the columns in Power BI. So we know how to hide the columns in all the views, in the report view, data view, and model view. Suppose if I delete the column in Power BI desktop, is that going to be available in query editor? Is that the right approach? Can I delete the columns in the Power BI desktop level tables? Here. Is that the right approach to delete the columns in Power BI desktop data view or else a model view or report view? No, please don't delete any columns here like this. Yeah, yesterday, I mean, maybe I have showcased some days back, what 3 days. If you can delete this column, that means we have to re-import the complete table. Okay, that's what we discussed. It's not the good idea to delete the columns on the data view or else a model view. Okay, here also. Okay, delete from the model or from the report view. Suppose if you are not working on that particular column, okay, maybe I'm not going to use this particular month column, okay, this column, I can try to remove this column in the query editor. We don't know, maybe in future we have to get this column to visualize. Okay, that's the best practices. Okay, don't delete the column on Power BI desktop level here. If you are not using that column, you can delete that column in the, that means you can remove that column in the query editor. Okay, that's important. Please remember. That's what here I projected. So data modeling, important things that we have to keep in mind. So by default, there is a data flow direction that is by single. Suppose if you want to get the interaction of these tables from both of the sides, we have to make use of both direction, the cross filter direction. We have to change it from single to both. Okay. So please try to remember this important modeling part. Okay. Modeling level activities. So as I said, DAX is not a programming type. So we are not going to write, okay, kind of huge programming. Here we are going to work with the functions and operators. Okay, it's a combination of formula bar. So I have showcased to you where the formula bar is available. If you are trying to write the DAX functions, so we can try to write in the data view or I mean report view level, even in the model view also it is available. Recently they have been added. Previously, we're able to see the DAX objects in these two only, in these two tabs. See here, in report tab, once we will get a good expertise, right, we can start writing the DAX objects, I mean DAX functions from here itself. See this, table tools. These are the 4 different DAX objects. Like that, data view. If you select some table, right, you can see this DAX object. Suppose if I select any column in a table, you can see individual objects like this. See here, new column only. So in this particular table, I have selected some column. I can see the new column and there is no new table or else new measure, quick measure. The objects has been not available. See this. It's available. Do you want to add a new table on this date table? So we can see this new column, calculated column. Suppose if you select date table, you can see this table tools. See here. The difference is table tools are visible to you. So these are all 4 or DAX object. Suppose if you can select any one of the column in a table, any column, you can see the highlighted one column tool. So the column tool functionalities, it will be up here. See this new column. Okay. And recently, as I said, previously we don't have this DAX object. Recently, model view also you can see these DAX object, new measure, new column, new table. Okay, previously like 2 or 3 months back, this functionality is not available to add. Maybe I want to add it very quickly. I mean, new column or else a new measure. Previously, I'm not able to see these options. We have to navigate to the data view or else a report view. Okay. And then we can add a new column or new table. Okay. The options which I have showcased to you. Okay. They are trying to improvise that activity. I mean, like objects wise, they are adding here also in the model view. Okay. My suggestion is, okay, if you are trying to create a new column or else a new table or else new measure, it will be get impacted on any of the tab. Okay, it's not like only I have to write it here. No, we can write it from here or else you can. My suggestion is until you'll get a good experience on writing the DAX object, try to make use of the data view. Once you get a knowledge as well as the expertise, try to start writing the DAX functions from this report view. Okay. Anywhere. Okay, you can start writing the DAX objects, any of the 3 tabs. But my suggestion is with the help of what is the advantage of this data view means I can see the data here. I can see the data, what are the fields, how the data is available, how the values are representing. Okay, that is the advantage. So maybe I can add a new column means I can just try to add a new column. Okay, here itself I can start, maybe start of week. Okay, start of month something. I want to add it. Date table, date column. Okay, date table is there, date column is available. Like this. I'm just trying to write it very quickly here. I mean, by seeing the data as well as what are the fields that are available. Okay. Once you get a good expertise, okay, experience on writing the DAX functions, you can directly go to the report view. From here, we can start writing the DAX functions. Here, maybe you can select something. You can see the DAX objects. Understood? Everyone, is that clear? Is that clear? Fine. So as I said, we will work on the best practices on the DAX objects part also. So that's what we discussed, right? So we are trying to learn what are the different functions. Okay, very basic now. So we will navigate to the next level, okay, from smaller to the larger functions too. Important functions, and it is very, very easy functions. You don't need to worry about it. Functions and formulas. Okay, so just like how we worked on the best practices of query editor, like that, I will give some examples. We will work on some examples, right? So please try to practice those examples and share me the snapshots. Okay, that's what I am expecting from you. Okay, fine. As a part of best practices, we will work on the aggregation functions, aggregation formulas like sum, average, min, max, okay, minimum value, how we are going to find out, and a value and count of the values, okay, count of some numbers, like count number of records, okay, and the textual data part, how we are going to count the categories, like example, see here, example, please focus. I have a product table. I want to see the distinct count. Okay, see here. This is the segment. I want to see the count of it. How many are there? So as of now, repeated productivity is there, but I want to see the count of this product table segment information. How, what type of a function we are going to use it? How we are going to count it? So we are going to work on these aggregation functionalities. So for that, okay, we are going to connect to a data source name called wo data feed, open data protocol. Okay, we are going to connect to a new data source name called open data protocol. Okay, I will share you a link. I will share you a link in the chat box. Please try to check whether you are able to connect to this source system or not. Okay, it's important. In the chat box, I'm sharing the link. Please try to check whether you are able to see the data or not. If it is throws an error, please let me know. Okay. I will share you in the form of XLS file as a part of learning. I'm going to share these data set, sales by category. Another data set also we are going to extract all amounts. So I'm going to share those two data sets in the form of Excel format. If you're not able to connect, wo data feed as a data source. Okay, this time we are going to cut. It's not a website. Please see here. It's not a .com or else something. It's showcasing HTTPS service.wodata.org. It's a public website, web page. But this is not a web or else URL data extraction. It is an wo data feed, open data protocol. Okay, the data is resides on the open data area protocol part. So we are going to extract some of the tables from this wo data feed source system, and we are going to work on the DAX objects. Okay, the DAX objects, that is calculated column, new measure, calculated table. Clear? Everyone able to connect or else any challenges? I am again telling this is not a website. I'm saying this is an open data protocol. So from the get data, you have an option that is OData, open data protocol. Maybe if you are getting some questions on have you connected to OData means don't think something website or else some other source system. It's an open data protocol. If you're observing, there is no .com, World Wide Web. It's an .svc. Let me showcase how to connect. Please observe here. I'm opening a new Power BI desktop application. To get connect to this, use the get data. It's not a web. What I'm saying, it's an OData data feed, open data feed protocol. Try to paste the URL. Select OK. Everyone able to see? Or else still any errors means I will share you this in the form of an Excel format. Able to see these tables on your left hand side. Responses in the chart, please. Check everyone. Are you able to connect or not? You able to connect? Fine then. Only two responses. What about others? Others are connecting or not? Only one or two responses. So what is the use of discussing these best practices? I want everyone to be get connected this. Let me know. If you're not able to connect, I will share you an alternative approach. That's what. See here, as a part of best practices, here I'm going to connect sales by category. So detailed way I'm writing. So you don't need to worry. I will share you this documentation as well. So sales by category is the table which is available. So one more table, sales total by amount. So these two tables I'm trying to import from this Northwind data set. Okay, Northwind source system which is available on Word data feed. Let's try to, what we will do? Are we going to load or else transform data? I need someone to guide me on this data transformations part. Don't load it directly. That's what we discussed. Go to the transform data to check basic transformation. Try to select the transform data. So it will get open the Power Query editor. So these are the two tables. Two tables are available. So sales by category, sales total by amount. What is this? Validity error empty. Can someone please help? Anusha, you are not able to connect. Is there any error? Are you facing any error? Responses quickly. If you are facing some error, I will share you in the form of Excel file. Okay. Can you share the snapshot of the error? Tell me. Tell me quickly, please. You can send me an error snapshot. I will share you the Excel file format. Okay, Excel way of extracting the data. I hope it works. Bishop, yeah, you tell me. You raised your hand. Yes, please.
Yeah. Where did you go after get data? I'm not able to find it out. Like, did you go in the? You did not
See,
went in the web,
see here.
right?
Please observe.
Okay.
New source, what data feed.
Oh,
Even in the
data.
get data, what data feed, not a website. I'm again telling, it's
Okay.
not a website data. We have to extract it with open data. What data means open data protocol. It's a public website. The Northwind information is available on OData feed. So we have to select the OData feed, paste the URL, simple. Paste the URL which I have shared in the chart. This one, copy and paste it. And just try to select OK. And you can see a window, a navigator window, a dialog. And from there, you have to extract sales by category table. sales total by amount. Okay.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
You able to open? See here, sales by category, sales total by amount. I asked you, what is this validity error empty? Each and every column I'm seeing some profiles, right? Validity error and empty. Some information. What it is stands for. Good. It shows the column quality. Okay. Each and every column, what is the validity of that in the form of a percentages, it should appear. Okay. Error information. So to get this on, I have showed you. So you have to navigate to the views tab, enable this column quality check. If you disable means if it is disabled at your end, just go to the views tab, column quality, so that it will be helpful for your quick references. Okay. So here it's not an Excel or else a text or CSV format. Whatever the data types that has been assigned, it has show something like a source and navigation. So we don't have the change data type detection, which is an automated. Okay, it's an dedicated source. Okay, like what data feed is a dedicated data. So that's why we don't have another transformation name called change data type detection. Okay, for this as well. Suppose if you are extracting the data from Excel or else a CSV or else a text file, by default, two transformations will be get added. Dash. What are those two transformations? If you are extracting the data from CSV, Excel, or text, along with the source navigation, two different transformations will be get added. What are those? I said three things, right? Three. CSV, Excel, text. CSV text. Data type detection will be get added. Before that, what is the transformation? Promoting the header. If it is not promoted properly, promoting header. And another transformation is data type detection. Okay, two important transformations. Please remember on these three source systems only, file source systems. Okay, but this is the database. So just try to select all the columns. Go to the transform tab, detect data type. Select all the columns here, detect data type. Okay, I'm not working on any data transformations part. We are currently focusing on the data modeling level DAX object, data analysis expression object. We are not focusing or working on the data transformation. So what I will do after this particular transformation, change data type detection, I'm trying to load into the Power BI desktop application. Just try to close and apply. I hope everyone follow you, right? Is getting loaded. These two tables are getting loaded as a part of DAX objects learning. Okay. Simple data sets only, it will not take much time. 7766 records. First table, sales by category. See here. There is a category ID, category name, product sales. Okay, for each and every product, name wise, should be some sales like beverages, and here the segregation. So which type of category product it is. So category name is getting defined. It's the beverages, Miss beverage condiments, and so on. So these are the category names if you are observing. See this. Okay, simple data set with 77 record count here. 77 record and 8 unique categories are available. Distinct categories are available. 8 distinct categories. Simple data set. Fine. We discussed about the product sales here. Suppose if you are trying to drag and drop product sales under the canvas reporting view here, canvas, what is the default aggregation? I'm just trying to drag and drop. What is the default aggregation function? Yes, it is not an Excel or CSV, so that's why it is not detecting any data type. Whatever it has been defined in the backend data type, it is appearing. Only source and navigation only available. Okay, Srini? So by default, if you are trying to drag and drop this product sales, by default aggregation is summation, sum, okay, the total value, total product sales. So we discussed about the drawback. Instead of using this implicit measure, which is available from the table, the sum of product sales, we can try to derive the same number 617.09 K. K stands for 1000 here, 1000 units. 0.09 decimal, K stands for units. Okay, instead of using this implicit measure, we discussed about how to derive the same number, same value by using an explicit measure. So which object we are going to use? What is the object? New measure. Here itself you are observing something like new measure. Until you'll get some good expertise, right? Try to make use of this data view. Data view, go to the data view. Select this table, select any one of the table, but product sales is available here. So that's why I'm selecting the sales by category, not a new column. Okay, don't derive it as a new column. I'm not interested in the new column again. I'm trying to derive an explicit measure, which is not going to store the value in my data part. Okay, because it's a number. So try to use new measure. Click on the new measure. Giving the name as total product sales. Important, please observe this is the measure name. I'm providing total product sales is the measure name of the measure. Okay. Is equal to is an operator. And I'm going to use the next line. So instead of writing the same line, see here, instead of writing the straightly, the formulas and so on, I'm interested to write the formulas in the next line. Next line. So to navigate to the next line, use Shift Enter. Shift Enter. You're seeing right? Instead of writing the formula, okay, here, like this, sum of product sales, sum of product sales, like this. I'm interested to write this formula on the next line. To navigate or else to make use of the next line, use Shift Enter. Okay, so that it looks good as per the DAX format. It looks fine. Is equal to sum of, maybe here. See here. This is the DAX formatting. Okay. I'm just trying to format this formula. Sum of this particular table and product sales is our column. Closing the bracket. Validate. Everyone following how to get the, how to navigate to the next line? Is that clear to you? You can just try to type, once you added that measure, is equal to Shift Enter. Use the Shift button, Enter. Okay. So that it is easy for our understanding. Is that a mandatory, sir? No, it is not a mandatory to use the Shift and Enter. Is for easy to remember, or else the what is the calculation you have used. Okay, you can easily identify which function it is, how it is reflected, formatting. Okay, simple format only. You can write, if you can easily understand this, you can write directly, straight line also, no problem. But maybe some person joined in the project and he want to get to know what formula you have used, which formula it is, and how it has been written. If you are writing in a proper formatted way, it should be easy. So that's why I'm just trying to write in the formula on the next line. Okay, sum is the DAX function, aggregated function, and inside I have opened one bracket. The sales by category is my table, and product. See here, column is available on the square bracket. Here, this is a square bracket. Inside the square bracket, we have a product sales. That's a column. Okay, and closing bracket we have used for the summation. The sum function we have used the closing bracket. Assume that you forget to close the bracket. I forget. I haven't closed the closing bracket. Suppose if you're trying to validate it, commit this formula, automatically Power BI DAX engine will be get added this one end bracket. Suppose if you forget to close the bracket of the sum function, DAX engine, it will be get automatically added one closing bracket. Okay, that's what it is happening. See here. Validate it. Commit. Got it? No, no error. Suppose if by mistakenly or else maybe unknowingly we forget to close the bracket, the DAX engine, right, it will close automated way, one bracket. Okay, we are not writing two brackets. If you write two brackets means it's an error. See this, it's an error. One additional bracket is there. Okay, clear to everyone or else any confusion on writing this function? Is that clear? So this particular total product sales is not going to store on the data level. It's going to store in the form of a cache. So it will improve the performance of your report because it's this particular explicit measure is not going to read by record whenever there is any data refreshes. It's a catcher, right? The value will be get stored in an automated way. Suppose if you are using an implicit measure, if you are trying to use, I mean, like there is any data refreshes is happening, it has to read to calculate row by row. Row by row, it has to calculate. Okay, read the record row by row to get the total value. So which is going to impact the performance. Okay. My suggestion is instead of using an implicit measure for the aggregated functionalities, we can make use of an explicit measure by using an DAX object name called what? DAX object new measure. Okay. Important, please remember, if you're trying to drag and drop this, you can see the card 617.09. Okay, same value. So, sir, I'm not interested with the 1000. So maybe you're getting a requirement like 617.09K. I'm not interested with the units K 1000. I want to showcase the full value, the total value. So how we are going to project it? So navigate to the format your visualization, more option. Here callout object is there, callout. I'm just trying to reduce the font to Arial, changing the font type and 25. Here, display units, by default it is an auto. I'm interested to see the full value. So we can just try to get the full value by using this display object, none. Okay, none, full value. Maybe I'm interested to showcase in the million units. We can try to change it to this one here. Okay. But my end user, he is not interested with the decimal. He want to see only the 6,17,085. He is not interested with the decimal points. So we can try to remove it. Decimals too. See here. Select your measure, the created measure, total product sales. Select your measure. Measure tools will be get enabled. See here. This is a measure. Measure tools will be get enabled. So here we have a change of decimal number. By default, it is an auto. Project it as a 0, 0, and try to project with 1000 separator. Showcase it with 1000 separator. So in this way, we can get rid of decimals. Okay, clear? Select your measure. Measure tools will be get enabled. It's not a calculated column, okay? It's not a table tool. It's a measure tool. You have defined a dedicated measure. So here you have to change the decimal from auto to this 0. Maybe you are interested with no decimals. And comma separate, 1000 separated, we have to add it. Here. Got it? Let's try to define few more aggregation functions. So to get the total value, I have used the sum. To get the something like simple average. So what should be the function? Mean value. To get the mean value, which is nothing but an average of my product sales. What should be the function? Which function you are thinking? Responses, please. Very important. I'm asking the questions here. Just average, right? To get the mean of it, that means between the range. We can try to use again one more measure, new measure. Click on the new measure. I want to see the average of my product sales, which is an average between, overall the data. Giving the name of the measure as average product sales is equal to direct functions. If you are trying to start writing average, not AVG, average, full form. You will get the suggestions too. As per the IntelliSense, it is getting detected. So are we going to write average function, or else maybe if you have some text, average A, or else maybe if you are calling some complete table, average X. X stands for the table function. So as of now, I'm strictly stick on one particular column. I can make use of average function itself, average product sales. Close the bracket, validate it. One more function. See here, average. Just try to drag and drop. 8.01K. So again, I don't want to go to the format your format option, format tab, and trying to change the callout value. What I will do in the sense in the real time, instead of again changing the cosmetic changes on this particular card, I'll just try to, I have done some changes right here, total product sales. Try to select your previous measure, use the format painter, just try to select it. That's it. Everyone following? I have done some changes on this font type and the size. If you are using the new card, new card visualization, you no need to again navigate to the cosmetic changes, that is call out and changing the font type and size. You can just try to make use of previous card, use the format painter, just try to add at the top. That's it. Format painter. And for the decimals or the value level you are trying to change, you have to change it manually. So you have to select the measure, explicit measure, use the zero delimiter, use the zero is your decimal, no decimal point, comma separator, 1000 separator. Okay, these two activities on the top of the value you have to perform. Clear? So in real time, I will do in this similar way. Okay, I don't want to again use the cosmetic change of that particular size and font. I will make use of the previous card, use the format painter and paste on the another card. Okay. So instead of that, I'm just trying to use Control C, Control V. Okay, Control C, Control V. Fine. One more. Suppose this is my product sales, right? I want to see the highest sales. Highest. I'm just trying to sorting the data. Highest sales as per my data set, 77 records, total number of records, 49,198.09. I want to see the highest sales. This value, I want to see only this value. I don't want any other calculation. Okay, I don't want to compare or else try to get some number value. I want to see this number only, 49,198.09. Simple function. Okay, again, one more. Try to create a new measure. So I'm using the report view now. I'm not using the data view to calculate it. Okay, I'm navigating directly to the report view. New measure, click on the new measure. See here, whenever you are trying to select the new measure, it's creating on another table. See this. So that means is that product sales is available on the sales total by amount. It's getting created on another table. That means is the total product sales information is available. Product sales column is that available on the sales total by amount. No. Okay, please remember, it's not available. Measures are getting stored on any table because it will be get stored in the form of a cache. Okay, we can try to move from one table to the another table. That's what we discussed. So trying to add the formula here. See this? Giving the name as product sales max. Max function. Max function. So you have to call that particular column product sales. Close the bracket. Validate it. Okay. One second. Here the layout problem. 1 second. One second, please. Just adjustment. Settings. Okay. Fit to the page. So here max, right? I just created one more measure. Just try to add it here. Okay. Remove this average product. Try to add max product sales max. This is our value 49,198.09. So to remove the decimal value, we have to select the measure because it's a value level functionality 0 and try to add 1000 separator. That's it. Okay. Got it? Everyone. To move from this table to this your main home table, try to select your measure. Try to move from home table currently, that is, it gets stored in this particular table, sales total by amount. Try to move to your primary table. This is the table you have fetched the product sales. Try to call the table sales by category. Okay, everyone, is that clear? Like that, if you want to see the lowest number, you can tell me. Lowest means 373.63 is the sale. Lowest sales. What should be the function? Which function? Which function? What is an aggregated function? Is a minimum value, okay? Minimum. Select it. Product sales min. Min function, lowest value, product sales. Okay. Close the bracket. Maybe if you forget to close the bracket, automatically it will get closed. Select it. Control C, Control V. And add the new measure. This is not a max. Try to add the min value. Okay. Minimum value. Not interested on the decimal part, so we can remove it. Maybe in future, if there is any comma separator, we can just try to add comma. Okay, 1000 separator to. As of now, 374 only. But maybe if it is getting added one more value in future, right now itself, we are trying to add this 1000 separator. Okay, it's in hundreds now. Okay, like this. Fine. Now I have a query. Okay, simple query only. Sales by total, sales by category table itself is having 77 records. I want to see this as a total. So how can we get it? What is the function? Which function we are going to use? Until now, we have counted the values and data part, that is sales by category. I want to get this 77 records as a value, as an output, how many number of records, which function we are going to use. So individually, if you are trying to do, it's a sum, agree? Individual column. So sum of product of sales, it's a sum. Okay, Anusha. If you are trying to count on the complete table, total number of records on this sales by category, right? In that kind of a scenario, you will not go with the sum function. We have to use count function. Count. Is that clear to you? Individual columns means, yes, it's a sum. As per the aggregation, we can use sum, but not, we are not counting this product sales now. If you're trying to calculate the total number of records in a table, okay, we have to use count here, count of records. Okay, so directly we can make use of count table name. Okay, see here, please observe sales by category, new measure, count of, maybe individually. I assume that individually I'm trying to calculate under product sales, individual column wise, product sales only. Product sales is equal to, see here, please focus. So count. So count also we can work. All the aggregation functions, it will be get supported. Yes or no? Product sales will be get support. All the aggregation functions, sum, count, average, min, max. Yes? My voice is not audible. Everyone, is that clear? Can you hear me? See here, individually, if you are trying to call a column that is product of sales, I can perform all the aggregation functions, which is nothing but an additive fact. That's what we discussed, right? So product of sales, I'm trying to take count now. Some I have defined already. Count of product sales, how many unique RLs, how many, a number of values we have. Count of product sales, individual column. Validate it. Just try to drag and drop this measure. Control C, Control V. Okay. So remove this and try to add count. 77 records. Okay. So on a particular column, I have performed that count, but I want to see the complete record count. In that kind of a scenario, there is one more function which is getting supported. Count number of rows in a table. So that function name is count rows. See here, individually, I have performed on a particular column, that is product sales. It's giving the 77 records. So there is one more function which is getting supported, count rows on the complete table part. Okay. So giving the name as sales by category, table level. Category count is equal to count rows on the complete table, count the number of records in a table. Sales by category is my table. Close the bracket, validate it. Just try to drag and drop. So now you can tell me, is that count rows function is going to give the 77 records or else more than that? You can tell me that. 77 only, right? No change. Everyone following? Is that clear to everyone? Okay. Shall I continue or else you want me to stop? I'm just trying to add the best practices. Modal part 0. You want me to continue means continue with a few more examples, or else you want me to stop up to this part, I'm ready to stop. And here itself, if you have any queries, please tell me. Okay, don't hesitate. Up to this part, do you have any queries or something? Please raise your hand. For this, I'm going to provide a note. Okay, you don't need to worry about it. You are telling the function, sir, but how can I remember? So I'm going to give the note also for this. Sum means what is the sum? Where you are going to place it? Average, min value, max, count function. Okay. So count rows. Next, here we are now. If you want me to stop up to this part, I'm okay. Now tell me please. One more and then I will stop them. Okay. So in the complete table, I have counted. Okay. But I got a requirement. Okay. And one individual column. Okay. Count function will work on the numeric. Okay. Count of product sales. But here category name is the textual. Okay. It's a text data type. I want to see the count of this. Okay. How many are there? So 8 distinct values are available. 8 distinct. So on this complete table, I'm going to perform a unique category name, unique, but we don't have a unique function. To get the unique, we are going to use distinct value. So try to make use of, here you are performing on the textual information count. Okay. Try to make use of new measure, click on the new measure, giving the name as count of category name is equal to, see here, I'm not using the count function. Count function on the textual data will not work. See this category name. Validate. Is that a text or is a number? You can tell me. Count is the numeric wise, it will work because it's an aggregated function. But you are calling inside the column is a textual data. Will that work? It's a text, right? So instead of using this count function on the textual information, count rows. So you want to find out the distinct 8 records, you have to get it, 8 different categories that we have. So try to use one more inside this table. See here, count rows is a table level function. So total number of records, 77. Just now we have used previously, directly the table. Now inside the table, I want to see the distinct of information, that is by using category name. So distinct function inside this, I'm using the distinct. So which column distinct you want? Category name. Category name. Close the bracket. Validate it. Validate it. Just try to drag and drop. Okay. Remove this measure. Try to add category. 8 different categories that we have. See here. Category name. 8 distinct values that we have. Is that clear? Everyone following? Number part we can make use of because it's a number, count function directly. And if you are trying to calculate the count of distinct count of category name, because it's a repeated, see here, seafoods are repeated, all the categories are repeated as per the record count. Okay, it's a textual information. And here I want to see the count of it, distinct count of it. I don't want to count again because it's having duplicates. I want a distinct of category name, that is 8 is the value. To get this done, count rows, which is a complete table function. Inside, see here, inside I'm calling one more DAX function, that is distinct of sales by category table, category name. Okay. Sir, why we have to use the count rows directly? Can I use directly the distinct function? Try this. Or is that visible to you? Can you see the value? Because distinct is also a number level, it will work. Okay, if it is a number, yes, it will work. Distinct number. But you're calling the distinct function on the textual data. So how it is going to work? So on the top of it, count rows, distinct, close the bracket. Okay, inside that particular textual value. So you can see that 8 different categories. Everyone following? Up to this part is clear. I'm stopping up to this part. Tomorrow we will continue. Okay. Please try to complete it. Yes, the distinct count works. No problem. Distinct count. There is one more function, distinct count. We'll discuss those two. Just tell me, Vishnu. Yes.
Like just now, which we did the count of category name, I am not getting the number. I am just getting the names of all the beverage,
Which one you have used?
Yeah, I have used the same. But
Count
yeah, like
rows.
the count of number 8, the number 8 is not showing. It shows only the name of all the categories.
So what is the function you have used? Can you show me? Is that possible to share your screen?
No, I'm listening you in laptop and working in the monitor, so it will
Okay.
be difficult. You can send you the
Can
screenshot.
you can send me the snapshot here also fine. You can just share me the snapshot here in the chat box so that it is easy for me to check right away. Okay.
Okay. I can send you the snapshot only after the class in the email if you
Fine
don't
then.
mind.
You can send no problem. You can send me the snapshot after the class. You can email me. I will check and I will update you. Okay. But
Yeah.
basically, if you are using the count rows distinct, you will not get. There is some mistake. So I mean, there is some mistake on writing the formula. You will not
Okay.
see the. I mean, something like the textual data distinct of categories. Okay, here I'm using the card visualization. If you're observing, this is the card. Even if you're
Oh,
trying to change something like a table chart or something, we will not get it.
okay. Yeah, I got it. What mistake I made? I did not use the card chart.
You just try to check it and let me know. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
Fine.
you.
Welcome. Any other queries? Everyone following? Is this way is okay to you, or else you want me to still slow down? Sir, I'm not understanding about what is this sum, what is this average, why we need to use these functions. Still any type of questions? Let me know. Everyone following, right? Everyone following? Fine then. I'm stopping up to this part. I'm going to share you the note for this. Okay, try to complete the exercise until this count rows function which we discussed. And tomorrow we will continue. Okay, tomorrow shall I take a class? Saturday, right? If you are available, everyone okay, I'm going to take the session. If not requirements, I will take Monday. Everyone, responses please in the chat box. No? Monday only. But please try to complete all the exercise, okay? Don't wait for the something. I'm going to share you the note for this. Please complete it. You are available, but maximum I'm getting the responses like Monday. You can connect. Please try to complete the best practices part and data transformations on the manufacturing project. Okay. Monday we will connect. We will discuss few more examples. Okay. Next week completely on the modeling part, best practices. We'll complete it and again we will move back to our project, manufacturing project, report development. Okay. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day and happy weekend. Bye.